Hello. I'm a little bit early just so I can try to get my camera together. I normally, as many people might know, I don't normally go live just because it's not the best quality, in my opinion. I have to get a new laptop. Um, but today's message, I figured the best way I can do this to make sure it gets out is to go live. So I'm going to give it a couple of minutes to see if those who want to participate join. Um, in this time, I guess I can talk about um, who the Stars of the Morning Light is. Stars of the Morning Light, and I'm hoping all of you can kind of see me more clearly. Like I said, I don't really like doing this, but I am thinking about maybe once a month going live just for Q&A, just for that. Like maybe, I don't know, around the 20th or something of every month, going live just for that. So it's good to be here. I am moving a bit slower just because we got a couple of minutes and I wanted to make sure everybody could kind of get in here. So Stars of the Morning Light is me. It's me. It's what I do. It's what I've created. Because you are a star of the morning light, as ancient texts like to talk about, and so am I. It is a complete metaphysical platform. If you go to starsofthemorninglight.com, you're going to get free meditation podcasts. You're going to get blogs to read that I do about quarterly. You have this YouTube page that is me teaching from ancient texts, and we are about to start really getting into things because previously, all the messages are good, all the lessons are good, but I was kind of, let's say, holding my cards close to my chest in a way, and I'm gonna not do that no more. So we're about to start really getting into some stuff. There's services at starsofthemorninglight.com. You could book an Akashic Records reading. You could book timeline cleanses, quantum timeline cleanses that I do. I personally think everybody should do that. There's just so much. I'm also a life coach. Spent years in case management. Now I'm just doing this. So I go. My main way of going about things, not just from the ancient text, but the pyramid of kind of like emotional maturity. Imagine, and I'm about to get into the lesson here, but let's say this is just a side note to see if anybody's coming because it's noon right now. So let's give people a couple of minutes. Imagine your life as a pyramid. And like down here you have physical, over here you have mental, emotional, and up at top you have spiritual. Well, for all of us, if we start neglecting one part, either or, it doesn't matter. Physical, emotional, spiritual, it doesn't matter. If we start neglecting one, and the more we neglect, the more that just keeps going, right? It's that's just even physics. The more we don't handle something, the more it's easier to not handle something, even if it nags at us. Well, what happens with a pyramid, which is you? If one, let's say physical or emotional, start to fall, the whole pyramid collapses. So I guess you would say, my form of teaching or life coaching really comes from that of having, you want to incorporate a balance of taking care of your pyramid. So Well, it is 12:02, so I'm going to start. This was unexpected as well. Nobody knew I was doing this. And it is because, like I said, it's easier sometimes for me to deliver messages by going live than trying to upload them and spend 20 hours rendering and what have you. So that's why I'm here now. It is so good to be with you. I'm wondering if how the light's affecting everyone. I can't really do much about the sunlight, which there isn't really much. Let's see if that helps. Okay. So, my lovely people. Oh, you're so beautiful. This week, if you haven't listened to the weekly goal that I did yesterday, what I normally do on this channel is, yes, I teach from ancient texts, but I also do like a weekly goal. And it's usually like a vocabulary word or a word, and then some kind of principle or ideal or story. And those are given to me by the Akashic Records. Because, me by myself, yes, I'm full of a lot of great concepts and ideas and things to teach, but I want to know, what do people need now? Like that's my main thing. And so if you haven't listened to the last one, you should maybe go back and listen to it. I'll recap a little bit today, but about 2 weeks ago, they gave me something that I was like, I don't know what to do with this. It wasn't clicking. And they had given me the goddess Artemis and the word corkscrew. That was not clicking in here. And that's how they kind of work with me with the weekly goals. Yes, when I'm in the Akashic Records, they give me direct answers. But when it's me asking about weekly goals, they use it in a way. They'll give me stuff like that, like this and this. Put it together, Courtney. Kind of like how when you work with adult learners and you give them the information, but they have to go and learn and process it themselves so they can really understand it. And that's what they do with me. I have to then go do the research and put all the dots together so I can explain it and really understand what's being said. Well, when they when they gave me that, I was like, what? What? And I even had to ask, like, is this for me? Because I'm putting together my moon manifesting course that should be out on Udemy in April. And because they gave me goddesses. So I wasn't figuring that out. Then they gave me another one, pretty much around about the same thing, which is what we're going to talk about today. Aphrodite and Moses, the first time Moses sees a burning bush. And I was like, what are you like? Even that one was a little bit more like understandable to me. And then they gave me but it started like time kept going by of like, I'm not getting to the weekly goal. I'm not getting to it. So then I asked again. I said, give me another one, like something easy. Like I got a lot going on. Just give me something easy. And they gave me another goddess and another word. And I was like, oh my goodness. So then yesterday morning, I was just like, okay, I gotta do a video. I'm walking my dog and I'm thinking about all the 3 goddesses they gave me, the 3 words they gave me, all this stuff that I should have been trying to understand for weeks. And then all of a sudden it clicked. It clicked. Yes, it clicked. And I went, oh shit, this is urgent. Like, no wonder you gave this to me 2 weeks ago. I should have already been doing this. So this is going to be a back-to-back Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, need to know now. This is, so let's discuss why for a moment. For anyone who's joining, hi, this is Stars of the Morning Light here, Courtney here. Right now, actually, I'm going to back it up some. I'm going to back it up some. In about 2018, you're not even being conscious of this. Let's say your soul was starting to, let's just put like little pinpoints, little nudges in you. And then by the summer of, definitely by the Lion's Gate of, so August of 2019, your soul, my soul, everybody's souls, aware of it or not, was making decisions. And I mean like hardcore, putting the stake in the ground. This is what I want in life. This is who I am. Even if we're not aware of it. Our soul was making big time decisions at that point. And all that has transpired, let's say, even though extremely difficult for many, was also opportunities. And I know I would get a lot of argument there, but it was also opportunities for that commitment, those decisions that our soul did make in like August of 2019. It was giving us an opportunity to tap into those decisions, tap into those commitments to ourselves, and really practice how that works for us individually. Because the ego will be present, and the ego and the soul, if your ego is way out of balance and unhealthy, please go and watch the video about ego. I will always be talking about the ego. Just a little footnote about who I am. There's a reason why I know a lot about how detrimental the ego, if it's bloated and unbalanced and unhealthy, how detrimental that is because mine was mine was big. Mine was really big. I mean, guys, I'm a Leo Scorpio. You cannot imagine the ego on this female. Like way back in the day, I did a lot of work in my life to put that in its place, and it's needed. We need to do that so our soul can thrive, so we can find that divine flame within that we're going to be talking about today. Know the great I am within us. That ego kind of needs to be in check. It needs to not be driving the car. It needs to be way back in the back seat. So please go watch that video. So in all the things that have transpired since our soul made those commitments, or even just really big commitment, things have unfolded so we could practice getting that ego down and practice doing what our soul really wants us to do. And it's interesting how just watching humanity, watching individuals, when things first kind of popped off, it was survival mode for everybody. And you got to think of the chakras. So like your survival is, that's your root. And everybody's was like activated. Well, you'll learn in the ego video that I have that the ego is more, it lives like in your upper stomach area where we call our powerhouse, the third chakra. Okay, it's there. Our ego lives there. Hence, if it's out of balance, it's also driving your power. And you got to think, what's the next one? Your heart chakra. So if survival is in play big time, that energy is just moving right on up, passing through the ego into our heart chakra. It was very confusing for people. And it became so much about toilet paper and survival. Well, then watch as the progression went on. People began to learn how to trust. Because survival is not going to get you anywhere. You know what I mean? That is lower dimensional, lower conscious level thinking. And we now are shifting out of that because so many people had to truly learn how to trust. And the blessed thing about right now is that during this transformation time, this becoming more self-aware and globally aware and humanity aware and Gaia aware, which is great, awakening, which I do tend to call, instead of awakening, I call it the great awareness. Through all that we have transitioned through, we have learned how to trust outside of ourselves. Trust that manna will fall from the sky. Trust that there's a higher power. Trust that there's stuff going on that is bigger and better than us, that loves us, and we will be okay. And we stepped out of this survival because we learned that's not a thing. That's not a thing. That's our root chakra going haywire when we need to cleanse and balance that, going straight up through the ego, and the ego loves that, and then kind of ruling what we do. But we let go of a lot of it, and many people just had to trust the experiences that folks had, which my heart goes out to all. It was not easy for any of us at times. We also had to learn a deep amount of trust and other things like gratitude. And so with all of that learning, right, we are at that time now that this is beautiful. We're grateful for what we have. We're grateful that we're still here. We're grateful for all this stuff. We've learned this deep sense of trust. Here's the next level, really, is learning how to trust ourselves. It is always easier to look outside ourselves and trust and build awareness. And even when you're growing and changing, it normally takes somebody else saying, hey, you're doing great, for us to be aware of the fact of how much we have changed. Somebody else has to point it out to us, don't they? So we are at that time right now that we finally really choose ourselves, because we're going to take all that trust that we learned, all that letting go of our survival, all of the needing to cleanse that ego and kind of find a little bit of humility. We're going to take all that and we're going to turn it on to ourselves. We are often the ones who do the self-sabotaging, that for some reason we think, well, they can, or whoever else can, but I don't know about me. That is not the case. That is not the case. And so this week, the energies this week, oh man, it's been wild, hasn't it? Have you felt the just surge? I will tell you, this past weekend, because I had physically done a lot leading up to this past weekend, that the energy dump of this past weekend, I did not handle all that well. I mean, I was laid out. I did not handle it all that well. I was not taking it in. And now I know I was taking it in and not experiencing it then. And now today I am like, boom, 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 boom. I'm vibrating. So this gets a little squirrely. I apologize. All the energies. So for this week, especially the 13th through the 20th, this full moon, the energies right now, going back to that commitment that your soul made, that you might not even be aware of, but your soul saying, this is what I want, this is who I am. Start living through me, instead of survival, instead of distrust, instead of Darwin, instead of all of it, right? Start living through me. Create that new world. you know, um, that commitment that was made. It is now, very much right now, it is being anchored. There's never a time before that we are able to tap into the potential of just keep elevating, elevating, elevating in higher consciousness. Many people, I mean, many, many millions of people, billions. I honestly, I think it's in the billions now. I do, but maybe only millions are aware of it when billions are doing it and they're not aware of it. Are kind of bouncing back from 5D and 3D, kind of bouncing back. And I do the same. I might have days that Courtney is back in the ego, or Courtney is back in a, let's say, unhealthy mindset. We have those days. But the majority of the time, I'm in 5D and kind of reaching a bit higher, looking at all this going on, knowing that, man, all these souls have made a commitment and the time is now. It's like an anchoring. This energy is here to anchor that commitment and also energize it and get the ball rolling. It is a commitment to you, to you, to you, and what your soul inspires for you to live out. That's why for a lot of people that are going through this, they might not be aware of what this energy is doing, and it can cause strife. It can cause a lot of things. That's what we're going to talk about. Briefly, yesterday's message was to this week, we're going to have 3 goals leading up to Friday, that full moon, okay? To at least ponder, at least become aware of, to at least think about. Yesterday's message was about changing our perception. There is no more black and white, good or bad. Sorry, I got buzz on my mouth. There is no more black and white, good or bad. There just is. Everything really is neutral, and it's energy. And it's up to us, folks, it's up to us to manipulate, change, and work with that energy to how we want it to flow. So through this, though, because that concept of black and white, right and wrong, good and bad, because that is no longer, and it never really was, but right now our conscious level is being able to accept these ideas. We have to throw out we have to kind of throw out our preconceived notions, our beliefs, the dogma that we live under, all of these, even social norms that we, for some reason, accept that might not resonate with us. This is all a part of, we got to break down our perception. We really do. And we all have individual perceptions. And it's beautiful how we're all connected energetically, higher consciously. We're all one. But we're still living in this very, let's say, detailed linear, because we're about to talk about that in a moment, detailed linear way to do things that is affecting the higher consciousness, the greater good, because we're not letting go of all these preconceived notions, these concepts, these perceptions, this dogma of stuff. Some of us have already let go. And it is, I mean, like I said, we all still have days and moments of, in our mind, we go, that ain't right. And for me, it's actually a little bit more, because like if you saw my birth chart, or even my maiden last name represented those who stand for justice, my entire being is really, there's right and wrong, justice, justice, justice. Like I'm it's very hard for me to get rid of that. But I've had to look at how all is energy. Speaking of which, so yesterday's message was that, and also how nothing is linear. Nothing. I clean people's timelines. Our timelines are not linear. It's not like you're born and then you go like this. We have to start thinking that time is not like that either. Time is actually a spiral. It always has been. Our timelines that are connected to other people's timelines and connected to the planet Earth are all a spiral. That's how time works. So there is no more just straight shot. There is no more go right ahead or move forward. There's not that. There, just how there is no black and white, there is no straight shot. It is not linear. Eventually, more into Stars in the Morning Light, we will be covering the concept of spiral through ancient texts. It is all over the place. Especially when we get into the emerald tablets. As you know, I love my emerald tablets. It's not, there's no, so as we have to get rid of our perceptions that there is no good or bad, right or wrong, there is no beginning or end date to things. It is what it is via how we use the energy, as we are all connected to the same energies. Through that, the more that we take moments to ourselves to just kind of sit and relax and think, really ponder this idea of like, there is no time. And maybe if there is, quote unquote, a thing called time, it definitely doesn't move the way I think it does. And we just sit with that for a little bit. And I'm saying this, as in the last video, not because we don't have dates or we have to pay our mortgage on the 1st. It's not that. It's that we are controlled by this concept of time. You got to be to work at a certain time, don't you? You got to pay these bills. You got to, like everything is controlled by time. And I'll tell you guys, I had a very, very hardcore relationship with time when I was young. Like I was obsessed because I knew I was under this control. And instead of like working with it, I totally wanted to work against it, rebel to the cause, I had issues. But I also like loved it and appreciated it. It was a weird relationship, but it was like an obsession of mine. I wore like tons of watches when I was like a teenager. I had this thing with time. And I think it's because of the control. Because I always felt like I was lacking in time. None of that's real. None of that is real. We're going to find the only true reality is the energy of love, period. That's the only thing that has ever went through all the cycles of time. That is the only thing, is the energy of love that is present in every cycle. Cycle of this planet, cycle of us. It is the only thing. So we have to let go of that. It's hard. Slowly just start wrapping your head around it. And like I said, it's not that we don't have to live in this world and pay our bills and go to work and be on time, be punctual. It's not that. It's that we have to release the feeling that it gives us, the the presentation of this control, this constraint, so we can move forward. You know, our soul is not going to fulfill commitments that it's made to itself if we are still trapped and confined by this concept of time. So, moving to the message today, because that just took a lot to recap and say this is why I go live, because I can just then deliver messages. I can just do what I need to do. And if anybody shows up, you can ask questions, you can do whatever, you know. I'm here. I'm here. I know I should have let people know sooner than this morning that I was doing this, but I didn't know I was doing this. Because I didn't schedule anything, because I'm not constrained by time. Sorry. That's me just picking on myself and everybody. Jokes. I got jokes. I got jokes, people. So, today's message. They gave me Aphrodite, the goddess of love. And then they gave me the story of when Moses sees the burning bush for the first time. So let's just talk about the goddess for a moment. She's a goddess of love. I don't think we really need to dwell on who she is. I mean, she's in songs. Everybody knows who she is. But what people don't, I guess, maybe fully know, because when we think of love, we're constantly thinking about intimate love. Intimate. When love is love, she is the manifestation embodiment of the energy of love. And she is able to, bring couples back together who are fighting, let's just say, because she is the embodiment of love, love can stop all fights. Love can stop all arguments. Love can bring all of our survival and ego right-sized. Love can replace fear. Love, I think you all are understanding where I'm going with this. That power is also within us. That power has always been in us. We tend to only see it, though, in intimate aspects. Intimate with spouses or partners, even, children, parents, like just within our little bubble. Even if we love a community, it's still a bubble. When we have the power within us, like I said, to transform, transmute all that happens in this world by using the energies that are present. And we want to tap into the manifestations, the embodiment of love, to overact, to override, to what have you, all that might be going on. Because remember, it's neither good nor bad. All it is neutral until we put the intention, until we put our own power and spin on things. Our perceptions. So she can do that. So can we. We have that power. How do we have that power? Good thing you asked. We don't just have our ego and our soul, our consciousness. We have the divine spark, the divine flame, divinity within, however you want to refer to it. I refer to it as the divine flame many times because ancient texts say it that way. We have that within us. We have a part of the great I am within us. So hence why they brought up Moses and the burning bush. Briefly, I'll explain the story. So Moses, the Israelites were, this is when they were in slavery, they were in captivity in Egypt. Moses was out with his herd and his uncle, or just tell us the recording. So he's out with his herd and he brings the sheep or whatnot up to this mountain, and there is an angel present, but I do not remember the angel actually saying anything, which is interesting because he sees the angel, but then he also sees this bush burning, but yet it's not like burning away. It's just on fire, but it's not being burnt. Think maybe holographic. Think, yeah. There's a lot of ways that you can maybe think about that. Go ancient alien if you want to. It's cool. So he sees this, and not really like caring to talk to the angel, which I always find is interesting, like as if it was maybe just common day that an angel might be standing there, right? But he was more interested in like, how's this bush not burning away? But yet it seems to be on fire. That part always caught my eye, like, that's interesting. So he goes to this bush. He goes to this bush, and of course, he's like, how is this happening? And basically, to make the story short, God of the Israelites started talking to him through this bush, saying, you're going to be the one to rescue, release and, get my beloved people out of captivity. And of course, Moses is like, me, me. If anybody knows, there are a lot of interesting things about Moses. Like he stuttered. He had a lot of just kind of handicap, like low key kind of handicaps, but it made him have very, very low self-esteem that he was always like, me? Shouldn't it be my brother? So, and God said no. And then so Moses says, well, who should I say is giving me this message? And God of the Israelites, and I do say it that way because who knows who I'm talking to out there. So God the Father of the Israelites said, tell them I am the great I am. I am the great I am. I am implies all. It means whatever would follow in that sentence, he is. I am the creator. I am whatever it may be. I am the father of all things. I am this. I am that, right? We, beloved humans here, we have that divine spark within that gives us the permission, gives us the opportunity to use the power of the great I am. So not only can we use it in our own lives, I am I'll tell you every day, usually definitely in the shower, hand to heart, I am healthy. I am happy. I am beautiful because I am. I use my I am statements because I know the great I am lives within me. I am a creator. I am a manifester. I am all. I am love. Right? So imagine that if now, this time that we begin to trust ourselves, choosing ourselves fully to live the commitment that our soul had made a couple of years back and had been building up to it. If we attach the power of the goddess, the embodiment of love that can end all negativity, using our I am because we are, I am because you are, I am because I am, all of it, if we use that and hone in on this energy, we can move forth with choosing ourselves and building that trust, knowing that we can, because we are the great I am. You are the great I am. So therefore, if you keep choosing you, use I am statements, build that trust, knowing that there ain't nothing that's going to knock you down. The more we do that, the more we bring in love, creation, power, the divinity within us, the divine mastery that we have within us builds and builds and builds. And the more we experience it through the trusting of ourselves and living out the commitment that our soul made, the more we then can send it out, penetrate the energies that want to do harm, and change it into a spiral motion of positive love. We have that power. We have that power individually, and we have that power collectively. And right now, the energies are present. So we can walk away from this concept of right or wrong. I'm just going to say this right quick. The word narcissist in today's culture has gone way, way out of whack, in my opinion. Everybody's popping off with that word, when that is actually a very clear clinical issue. Like there's definitions there. It is a clinical diagnosis. Not everybody who wants to choose themselves, not everybody that's walking away from family and friends because they want to explore what their soul wants them to do is a narcissist. So do not have that fear. Because just because a term has been thrown out there and used a lot, don't mean that that's you if you want to choose yourself. That's not the case. Because the more we choose ourselves, the more that we develop and build that trust within, trust around, then we start spreading the love. First, we got to love ourselves, then we can spread it out. The more we tap into the power of love, the manifestation, like Aphrodite is, of the power of love, who can change all things. Stop fights, stop arguments, stop judgments. It all starts with us. Stop judging ourselves. Stop fighting with ourselves. Get that heart and mind connected. If you need to watch that ego video, I suggest doing so. That is what the message is for today. So yesterday, change your perceptions, let go of time and your perceptions, let go, let go, let go. Because ain't none of it real. Today is the only true reality is love. That's the only thing that is ever, through all the cycles of this planet, of us people, all throughout the spiral, that is a consistent, that is constant, is love. It's the only energy that is always at play. Always. And some might say the yin and yang, which is true because we need balance. But I will always tell you, love is always represented more, even if we think we can't see it. Go listen to the message yesterday about seeing in the dark. So you have that power within you. Start using your I am statements. Start trusting yourself. The more you experience trusting yourself that you are a great I am. You are a creator. You are the embodiment of love. Then, lovely people, we shine it out, because you are star of the morning light. You shine it out. You are a star. And we change. We bring in the new earth. Let's just say the new earth is definitely beginning, and you're a part of it. You're a part of it. Friday is a huge day. Friday, that moon is anchoring in that commitment you made to yourself. It's anchoring in all this energy to say, hey, trust you, do you, be you, and do it with love. It's there. It's there to help you create what you want, what you desire, what your soul made that commitment to. And then we got the spring equinox, man. The hope, the birth, the love, the light. The energies right now are so powerful to take advantage of it. And even if you're not, let's make a point to say that even if you're fully not aware, like, oh, you keep saying my soul made a commitment. It did. I know it did because everybody's was doing it. So, okay, you're not aware of what it is. That's fine. That's fine. Because what I'm telling you right now for all these goals this week, and just tapping in when you can to let go of the perceptions, let go of time, let go of the restriction of time, understand that you are a part of the great I am, and you have that power to embodiment, love, and transform your life and those around you. Just by wrapping your head around that frees you up to let your soul begin. Because just because this energy is helping us anchor that soul commitment, doesn't mean that it's going to just all of a sudden miraculously happen in that moment. It's to anchor it. It's to begin the foundation. It's to stabilize it in your life. But let's put all these other things kind of in place. Just the ideas, just the thoughts, just clear, because you want to have that, a little bit of that open space when that anchor comes down and anchors this commitment to then let it grow. You could also see it as a seed. It's the spring equinox. We plant seeds. So between all of these messages, there's going to be another one tomorrow. I will try to get that video out early. I don't believe I'm going to be going live, which is about energy and Demeter. They gave me another goddess. Awesome. That's great. This is urgent for, I believe a lot of you already know a lot of this stuff. Share it with others. And also a good reminder. Because what tends to happen is there can be a lot of distractions. There can be a lot of energy that we don't know how to use, and we displace, and there can be a lot of things happening. And or our ego for some reason is still very much driving the car based out of fear, all sorts of stuff, survival. So this is for those who know these concepts already. This is a really healthy reminder that it's now. It's now. Lay it down. You've got to lay so much down. Let go. So your soul can now have the freedom to explore the commitment that it made to itself. So lay down the perceptions, lay down the constriction of time. Embrace the great I am within and the power of love that you have. The love within you is just as great as the love from above. As above, so below. As within, so without. You have that power. We're just pretty much kind of like the middleman. Well, the middleman does have a lot of power when you think about it. So, I love you guys. I love you. There will be another message tomorrow. Friday, that full moon, guys, utilize that energy. And if you haven't listened to the Akashic Records reading for March, please go and do so. I know there's a picture of me like this. It is a positive message. At the end of it, it says dance, dance, dance. That's what we are going to do this weekend. Get your vibes up. This is an up level, up level. The best way to do it, if you don't know how to do it conceptually or mentally or whatever, dance, man, dance. Get that music, get them beats going, get them vibes going. Okay, I want to break something down for you about the importance of like dance, okay, and drums and beats and dancing, okay? So, many people here in the Northern Hemisphere, those who grew up here in the States, at least at some point in our elementary grade school experience, we learned about rain dances, the native rain dances. I don't think people really understand what that was. And I'm going to tell you, all of you now, before I explain this, think of it in a way of like if you had ever been to a big concert or festival and everybody starts dancing, doesn't it start raining? This is actually science and spirituality. The whole, I love it, science magic, okay? That is essentially what rain dances in native terms would have been. And please understand, when a rain dance was needed, it is because it has not rained. Drought is happening, and it's affecting maybe not just one particular tribe, it could be affecting multiple tribes. So there could be times that multiple tribes that were partners or friends with each other would come together. And when I say dance, that is a huge fire happening, and everybody, I mean, drums going. I'm feeling the energy right now. And the men, even women, everybody stomping the ground, dancing, 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 stomping the ground. That is bringing the energy up so the rain can fall down. It is science. It is also spirituality. It is. But think of it in a bigger magnitude than just like, oh, they did a little rain dance. I don't know why we have this concept in our head. It was big. And if you've ever been to a festival, like I said, isn't it after everybody's like dancing like real hardcore, rain comes? It's the same concept right now. The best way to get those vibes up, like how we get all that energy from the ground, the ions up into the sky to bring the precious rain, is the same way we can get our vibes up internally and externally around us. Dance, dance, dance. I'm telling you, I know that it works. I know that it works. So, beloveds, if anything, that's what this weekend's about. Get those vibes up so we can free the space within, get rid of all these preconceived notions, these dogmas, these survival, this ego. Get rid of it and dance it out. I love you guys. I love you. I hope everybody stuck around long enough to hear that. Okay? I love you. I will see you again tomorrow. This weekend, I might not see you because why? I'm going to be dancing. Okay? I love you guys. I love you. Listen to that Akashic Records reading. All right? I do love you. You were doing so good. You were doing so good. I'm very, very proud. I'm very, very proud of you, of me, of all of us. We are doing really good. Even if we don't think so, I'm capable of seeing through the dark. I love you guys. Bye. Namaste.